Hello everyone, and welcome to the first episode here in 2017 on the Hermitcraft server, and you can barely see me. Let's walk over to the light. Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode. I wanted to start off this year with a new project, yes, but unfortunately we're not going to be doing that. You know, everything hasn't quite lined up for me to start this new project. The Octavoid has been consuming an immense amount of time. It is getting closer and closer to being finished, and I believe within the month of January we will have finished this project and be able to move on to something new. So we've got that to look forward to. But first of all, I need to show you what has actually been done over here, because our Guardian storage area has been finished and it looks beautiful. Check out this room right here. I adore how this has turned out. It's got some flaws, it's got some things I'm not so keen on I'll talk about. But first of all, let's talk about the positives here. I love the sides, they are kind of how I envisioned them. And the floor and the ceiling have turned out better than I could have thought of. Look at this. A random bunch of blocks and then some water just flowing in all sorts of different directions. It looks really cool. And then there's a mirror of that on the ceiling where you don't have the glass, but you got the same blocks sort of randomized. And it's all turned out pretty good. The thing I'm not so keen on is the face over here that you have to walk through. To get into the Octavoid, you've got to walk through the mouth of this face, and it looks a little bit silly, but it turned out being okay. There's also some lava at the top there as well, which I think if it were more prominent would probably suit this area. But anyway, it's all done. No, actually, I want to put some item frames on these blocks here to tell you what's in each of these chests. And look at all the Prismarine shards we're getting. Wow, that's quite a lot. This side over here hasn't been running for too long. This is our item storage system, by the way, if you're not aware. And apparently some of the materials from constructing it have been left inside. Well, I'll take those, thank you very much. And there's actually something going wrong with this system over here. It's really strange. Let's walk up the back here. I've been watching it, and we might not be able to see it make the mistake it makes right now. But over on this side, we have 3 different item filters. We are filtering cooked fish, prismarine shards, and prismarine crystals. Any other items will land on the ground. Hardly anything is ever down there. In fact, since I've finished building this thing, I never see an item on the end, which suggests that it's always got room to pick up the items. When our storage system is full, though, it'll be another case. But anyway, over on this side, you can see some raw fish there, and that's to be expected. Now, I've also seen prismarine shards and prismarine crystals on the ends there, which is a little unexpected. And I saw it do it a moment ago, but it must have despawned by now, because I was hanging out in the area for a little bit before I started recording. And, well, that's a little bit of a sign as to maybe what's going wrong. You can see that one there is pretty much full. This one is working away as well. So perhaps when these two get loaded up, and the third one does as well, then the prismarine shards make their way down to the end. But you think it would be fast enough, because there are only 2 dispensers dispensing items, and we've got 3 hoppers here. Surely it should be able to handle the items at that pace, right? Apparently not, though. And anyway, the other problem is that we get raw fish. What's strange about that is that one of the farms on this side must be outputting raw fish, yet there's lava there to kill the Guardians, so something is a little bit off with one of those farms. Well, I'm just putting in the finishing touches here with the item frames, and I'm thinking to myself, do we actually need 3 in a row when they all represent the same thing? It kind of looks a bit much. I think we might get away with actually just having 1 on each side. You see more of the dark prismarine there, and actually, yes, that does look a fair bit nicer. Right, we're going to reduce the amount of these. I had to go all the way back to my base, though, to craft these item frames, because we needed leather. So I've decided to put leather in my useful box now, another material that's going to be handy. And of course, with ender chests and shulker boxes, yeah, I don't really need to explain that, but we can keep so much more materials on us all the time. It is truly amazing. So doing a little bit of digging here, we are making our tunnel 3 by 3, but you can see I'm digging out an area where we've got the space around it as well, as we're going to decorate the sides and the ceiling and the floor, and it's all going to be real simple stuff, something nice and plain and repetitive that I can build over and over again, because it is going to be a fairly long tunnel. And then we're going to put down a minecart track, and we're going to have a minecart unloader at one end and the other as well, so it could be a nice and simple way of travelling back and forth to the Octavoid. But anyway, with all of this digging, I've been thinking about New Year's resolutions. I think they represent a better version of yourself. We all know that we should probably eat less sweets and do a little bit more exercise, and then a New Year's resolution is putting that to the test, so to speak. But I am not a fan of New Year's resolutions. I am not, because statistically speaking, a lot of people don't keep them up. And I have experienced this myself, because I am a runner. I go running like 3 to 4 times a week. And what do I see? The occasional other runner. But every January it's the same, and I've been for a couple of runs this January already, and I see a lot more runners than usual. But by February, it's back down to the same couple of people that you usually see when you go running. And that's because doing this for a New Year's resolution isn't really the best motivation for making changes in your life. And there's statistics to back that up. Most people will stop their New Year's resolution after 3 to 4 weeks. And that's not good, really. So I'm not trying to con you out of doing your New Year's resolution. In fact, I want to encourage you to take up an active change in your life and try and stick and do it and make the difference that you want to. But my message would be that you shouldn't look for future dates. It shouldn't be about what's coming around tomorrow that you want to change. It should be about making that change today. Because the power of now is much better than thinking, oh yeah, tomorrow I'll go out there and run. But when tomorrow comes around, you're probably not going to be motivated to do it. So I'm not going to babble on about this anymore. You can tell me what you think about that with a comment down below. Oh, looks like we got a creeper in a cave. Hello, I can see you. I don't think he's actually spotted me yet. I like caving. I haven't done this in a while. I am going to go around and light up any that we find. Looks like I've already been to this one though, technically. However, what I'm not going to do is record me doing much of it. I'm sure you're all very bored of seeing caving videos by now, right? Hi, burn to death, guy. Burn to death. Yep, you can't shoot me now. I've barely dug too much more of the tunnel. We're going around the corner bit here, and that's where the caves have started. Looking pretty good. You may notice there's a lot of cobble here. That's because we've gone for a bit of a cave system. So this thing is, I don't know, kind of cool. I'm really in the mood for just doing a project like this today, digging out a little tunnel. I've liked it, and I haven't even had instant mine. But anyway, what I'm thinking we need to do next is measure out where this tunnel is going to end, because around the corner there is where it starts to go upwards. So I'm thinking our tunnel should have segments of 3 blocks in between each pillar like that. A very nice, easy, simple to do, repetitive design. So I have pillars every 3 and then a little section in between. So we will probably start from the corner here then. This is going to be our first pillar, and then we can count outwards in each direction, because somewhere down there it's going to end, and then we need to start sloping the tunnel upwards, and we want to make it all nice and easy to do, right? Easy to do is what we are after today. Hi, get out of here, buddy. I'm recording a video, jeez. So this is the upwards bit, and wherever our pillars end means that we can stop the design that we're building in this area, as we'd need a new one, as then it gets diagonal, and I'm hoping we can continue the same design, just sort of adjust it to be diagonal as it goes upwards. We'll deal with that when we come to it though. Let's get this bit done first of all. Nice and simple is what I said. It's going to get a little bit more complicated because it looks so much nicer when you offset the pillars, so we're going to do even more digging here. I'm going to dig out these bits here so we can have bone blocks going across, which make for very nice building blocks. And then we're going to offset the ceiling, these 9 blocks, and offset the side, which will be these 9 blocks as well. And we're going to use Prismarine to fill this all in, which means all of our blocks are nice and farmable, including the bone block as well, because I've got tons of bones, which is fantastic. So then we can use the drops that we've been collecting in our storage system as well to finish the tunnel design. So how does that look? Are you a fan of the Prismarine on the ground? Well, this will change colour slowly over time. It is an animated texture. Now you're probably staring at it going, it's not changing colour. It does it ever so slowly. And I think that the bone blocks here might be a mistake. In fact, what I originally did is have some stone slabs in this little bit right here. And then I thought it was too noisy, so I decided to rip those out, and I think actually we might need to just simplify. Oh, yes, that is the way to go. And hey, look at it, now it's slightly purpley, so it is changing. And also I was digging out some space here so I could show you what's going to go on the side. Now, I might have mentioned this earlier in the video, as it was my plan, I can't remember, but what I wanted to do was come up with one section and then another one and another, so 3 in total, and just have them constantly change 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. But as I started to design a few things, didn't really feel or felt like it was that great, so I decided to just stick with one simple thing where we use all of the Prismarine blocks. So we got this type, and that one, and the sea lantern, so that's all 4 of them, and they mix really well with the bone blocks. This is looking real nice. So a couple of more sections in place. I think that's going to be great to go through. Such a nice, clean palette, isn't it? Just green and white, and the textures all look good together. So we're almost there now, doing the diagonal bit. I think the roof is a little bit smaller. And this would probably still look good if these were pushed back, but the amount of digging I've done today is insane. You can see my pick has been worn down a little bit here. And as I'm going up, I'm also putting in the powered rails every so often. I don't think it's going to be enough, though. I think they probably need to be spaced out a little bit further, right? But anyway, we're going to walk down this thing and get a good idea of how it's going to look when it's finished. And we'll see this part, though, that is finished. Look at this. Oh. I thought it was finished. Apparently, I missed a bit over on this side. Bam, there we go. Oh my goodness me, once again, it's another one of those, this won't take that long. Oh dearie me. It's all finished now, it's all finished, and it lines up with this area over here. Let me tell you about our plans for the future, because I really want to wrap up our base. There is a tunnel that runs down here. This actually went right through where we built our new tunnel, as you can see, and this leads out to the islands outside our base, somewhere over here. Yep, there it is, and then the octavoid is over there. Cool, so you know where we are, and I want to make this a tunnel as well. So this area, the other side of this, is going to be where some of our tunnels converge. I believe we might do one going in that direction as well. So we're going to have a tunnel entrance there, and here. This is our Logfellas tunnel. And then we got this room up here, and I was going to build some more projects and farms down here, but I think I'm actually going to scale that idea down and make it so that this staircase goes down, around, and down to the floor below where it will meet up with the other ones. The other path that I was sort of pointing in this direction about is this one over here that leads to the lighthouse. So there's a few bits and bobs to do around the place, but it's all coming together now. Our base, the first one that we started here, is starting to come to a close as we finish off all the things that need to be done inside it. It's all exciting, and I don't think I've actually put a minecart into this system yet, and I actually technically haven't finished building it. There we go. Right, and then let's chuck this thing in here. This, by the way, is the same thing that we used for our zombie pigman farm. No, that's not the one. The passive mob farm. Remember that tunnel? We actually built it with the same sort of style layout as well. So it just so happened this is exactly like the one in the nether, where the cactus is underneath the pillar. I really like that. So we walk onto this, it turns off the power, and we get a bone block. Amazing, just what I wanted. That would be the one that I broke there, and it went into the hopper, right? Also, I've just noticed something else. I should tidy this up. It's not technically done, is it? Oh! Am I clicking on the cactus hitbox? That's kind of odd. Well, I'll come back and do that later. Yeah, just wanted to clean up the blocks behind it. Anyway, so we stand on the pressure plate, we get our minecart, and then we hop inside, and we're no longer standing on the pressure plate, which turns on the powered rail again. It works ever so simply, and this tunnel here works very nice when you're going down it, and it's a very, very nice little journey, isn't it? Hi, how you doing? Oh, this is fun. Yeah, I do like a good tunnel, and this one's so clean and gorgeous. And then it brings us down to the end where, once again, we have the exact same system. And while I'm here, I'm actually going to tidy this up. So, remember the mouth? It is slightly higher now on this side, because if you don't want to use the pressure plate, you use the stairs on either side, right? Like when you're leaving, you walk over that way, which kind of directs you away from this as well. If you walk off at an angle, you don't stand on the pressure plate, which is cool. And then when you want to go and use it, bam. And off we go again. It's pretty awesome, right? I'm wondering, would you like to see a tutorial on that minecart station? Leave a comment if you would. Maybe that's something we can do. Now we need to pay close attention here, because sometimes this doesn't quite work. And we are slowing down, but it looks like we're going to get over the top. That's fair enough. When I tried this a moment ago, it literally crawled up these last two, and I had to actually hold down forward to make it just go onto this powered rail and make it over the top. So maybe what I'll do in the future is just add a couple of extra ones here so it gets a proper boost, right? It's time to build a bridge. We need to build a bridge, and oh my days, does that area over there look magical and festive. There are more things over there now, actually. You can see there's a giant tree. There's a building underneath it, and there is an ice rink as well. You see, I recorded, I think it was like a day before Christmas, or maybe 2 days before Christmas, and still things are being built in the festive season, which is pretty cool. So we'll go over there and check it out, but right now I'm converting this all to path blocks. Is that a little bit wonky there? No, it's correct. Because we need to get on with building this bridge. We're actually going to build 2 bridges in total. One will be the other side of that little island there. And to get prepared, I've been chopping down some birch wood and gathering all of the leaves. This makes for great scaffolding as it's easy to gather. And you can remove it very quickly with some shears. So if we just wander under here, you see it would be nice and easy to reach up and place the blocks for the bridge, which we're going to do in a moment. And let me answer Iskal. If that editing back there seemed a little abrupt, sometimes I forget where we left off. We are now moving on from that project. We're done with it for now, and I want to make a start on our bridges to the Festive area. And also something I was supposed to mention at the beginning of the video, which I completely forgot to, is that I posted my music blogs for the year of 2016. That's my favourite records and my favourite musical discoveries, you know, artists that I've found during the year. If you're interested in reading that stuff, head over there. I do like to mention it from time to time, as I do regularly write about music on my blog. So you can find that in the description box. Look at this gorgeous building though. This is made by Iskal over here. It's got no interiors. I do hope he comes over here and decorates it at some point, because it's a pretty gorgeous looking build. So that's one of the new things that cropped up after I last showed you it. Cropped up was not the word to use, popped up. And then there's the tree up there. I'm not sure who made the tree. And there's actually an ice rink over here as well. I'm telling you, man, this ice rink is amazing. I'm having so much fun over here. I've been here for ages now, running around in circles. This is made by Mr. Cubfan, 135. Pretty cool little ice rink. We should do some racing on it sometime, I think. Maybe racing in boats, going around in circles. That would probably require a little bit of skill as they go so fast, right? And I was about to say, why is that thing upside down? Mistletoe! I knew it! I was thinking, wait a minute, it's mistletoe. Excellent. That is so very cool. Let's head back over to the bridge. I need to gather some building supplies and we can start work on it. Well, I was about to hop into bed and I was distracted by a marvellous sight off in the distance. Look at this Christmas tree. Isn't it wonderful? It lights itself up and turns off again. I actually really like that it's animated. If it had just lit itself up, I probably wouldn't have noticed, but that is extremely cool. So we're going to go about building this bridge with a very look, think and execute approach. I've got a good idea for all the steps that I want to do, and that will start off with playing some stairs. Yeah, this is what I thought might be a problem. Oops. Well, that's off to a good start. I need that thing to grow back to grass as well, which is a bit of a pain. So placing these is only difficult in the beginning. Now, the problem was that we were slightly lower than the hitbox of it, right? Because we were standing... Well, no, we were level with the hitbox, but the hitbox is lower than a full block, so it meant we couldn't place this. Anyway, I'm going to do this on both sides. We're going to go all the way across, so there are 3 stairs on each side. And then we're going to put an andesite block on the end of each of every one of these. So with those in place, I now want to put cobblestone walls above and below the andesite on every single block. So it's going to pop out like that. This could end up looking really strange, by the way. I really don't know how it's going to look. On top of the stairs, though, we're going to have spruce, like this. Let's put in a few of them. Just take a step back. That doesn't look terrible, does it? Okay, that's decent so far. What I want to do next is get an arc in there. So not only is this thing diagonal, we're going to have it arc down from one side across down to the other. The problem is I can't quite pinpoint where the middle is here. I think it's that one. Let's count. 1, 2, 3 and 4 on that side. 1, 2, 3 and 4. But then you got that last one that's sort of lagging as well. I think we're going to have to make a cut-off point there. And also on this side, did I count that bit back there? Okay, what about now? Right, so the cut-off point is that bit there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Middle, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we should probably dig away a little bit on that side. But that would make, trying to count backwards, that one the middle. I've added a marker so we know what we're looking at. With this one being the middle, we're going to put just a half slab across the back like this. Then the next one is going to get a full block. And then after that I was thinking full and a half to 2.5, but that might not give it that nice big steep curve that we want. So what if we go from this to 2? That is actually probably going to be too much, because then we've got to go probably to 3 and then 4.5 or something like that, although that would be the last section. So that's 3. And then what would it look like if it were 4.5? Maybe we need to put stairs on this as well, you know, to give it a bit of an incline up towards the next one. That doesn't actually look so bad from this angle over here. Let's give that one a try. Let's step back and have a look. Well, no need to do both halves, so you can use your imagination. I'm going to say it, that's pretty much exactly what I was looking for. I think this stone bricks might need a little bit of detail somewhere. I think the problem is from this angle we can't really see these stairs at the top as well. So I'm going to build it on the other side, maybe find something to chuck in there for detail. This is looking great, by the way. I'm just coming along here and filling in the gaps underneath because you can sort of notice them when you look at it from the side. So with those filled in, this thing will pretty much be done. Yeah, that looks really good to me. I think if I were to change something here, I'd put in some cracked and mossy bricks in an occasion. Maybe that's something I'll come back and do in a live stream. I love doing little details and little odd chores like that on my streams, so that's something to think for the future. Now we just got to do the next half, which is from there to there, and it's basically going to be the same thing again, but maybe a little bit smaller because the bridge isn't as wide. And here it is, looking pretty good. Thought I'd get all cinematic with the shot using the camera and the F8 and all of that. F8, what's that? It's a key on your keyboard. It makes the camera go nice and smooth if you didn't know. It's pretty cool, right? I think we've done a good job there, and we'll do a different design for the next part of the bridge, which leads into the festive area. But we're not going to do that right now. What we will be doing is tidying up the mess that I've left behind down here. I didn't really need to use this on the other side because it doesn't go all the way down to the water. There's actually like a natural ledge at the perfect height for building. So, all cleared up. I'm going to leave the leaves that are down there to despawn. Don't worry, it'll be fine. They're nice and disposable. And that actually brings us to the end of our episode. If you have enjoyed it, please do leave a like. As always, thank you for your support. A little bit shorter than usual. That's because we're clearing things up here in the Mesa area as we get prepared to finish the Octavoid and to start a new project as well. I'm excited for 2017, and I hope that you are as well. I've got a Christmas tree on my head. It looks silly, doesn't it? Yeah, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.